talk about football in different leagues across the world. I'm not alone in studio today. I'm joined by Kelly Boss. Good afternoon, Kelly.
Good afternoon, Robbie.
Good to have you back. How was your week?
My week has been great. Festivities going on, and I'm happy to be here.
Good to see you. Good to have you back. Of course, we want to kick off this afternoon's edition of Scoreline. We're taking a look at the 36 players that were named in the provisional squad of the Rising Stars. That is the 36 players that were named in the Rising Stars. We want to go through that list of the Rising Stars provisional squad that was named for the Under-20 Sekafa Challenge Cup. And then the defenders, we have Tom Teka, Boniface Onyango, Ezekiel Nyati, Brian Wepo, Mudhoka Maingi, Alphonse Omija. We have Arnold Onyango. Moving to the forwards, we have Selassie Otieno, Jacob Onyango, John Otieno, John Mwangi, Musa Masika. Those are just some of the players that have been named there. Goalkeepers, we have Maxwell Muchesia, Kevin Ouru, Brian and Odhiambo, Isa Emoria. Remember, some of these youngsters were played in the just concluded Africa Under-16 Cup that took place here in Nakuru. That is at the Fras Stadium, where Kenya emerged the winner, defeating Nigeria in the finals. Some of the midfielders, of course, we have Abdul Malik Hussein, Marvin Abuire, Ronald Chichenje, Steina Musasia, Jeremy Mwenda, Joshua Otieno, Alpha Onyango, John Juguna, Patrick Otieno, and Fidel Origa. Those are some of the players that have been named to the Rising Stars squad. We have Amid Mohammed, Ainea Ombonya, Nicholas Omondi, Wisdom Nava, Lucas Maina, and Vitalis Mukweso. The 36 players that have been named in the Under-20 squad, provisional squad, rather, for the Under-20 Sekafa, for the Under-20 Sekafa Championships. Those are the players that will report to camp for the Under-20 Rising Stars. Now let's move away from the Under-20 Rising Stars. We are still on football now. A number of matches have been lined up in the Kenya Premier League. Of course, we want to take a quick look at the fixtures for this afternoon. Bandari FC will be taking on table toppers Western Stima. Of course, as Bandari are seeking to get a win over Western Stima. Remember, this is a side that is still unbeaten since Bernard Mwalala took over at the Port side, so they're still unbeaten. Western Stima got promoted into the league this season. They are topping the league still. They haven't tasted any loss so far. Now, Sodi Sugar take on Zoo FC. Now, the match that has just started is Posta Rangers taking on Mathare United. Of course, this match is being played in Nakuru's Afra Stadium. It's currently, it's just kicked off. And then we have KCB FC taking on Tusker FC. Tusker FC got their first win of the season last week. That is after getting 3-0 win over Nakumatt FC. KCB settled for 1-1 draw against Bandari FC. So the two are locking horns this afternoon. Now at 4:15 Kenyan time, FC Leopards takes on Vihiga United, a side that has been marred by lots of, not controversy though, a side that has been faced by financial challenges. So they will be taking on FC Leopards, a side that drew 2-2 against Sofapaka last week in the Kenya Premier League. We take a quick look at the other fixtures, of course, of the day. Ulinzi Stars will be taking on Sofapaka, a match that will be played in Nakuru. Also, Kariobangi Sharks takes on Gor Mahia here at the Kasarani Stadium. Kakamega Homeboys takes on Nzoia Sugar. I beg your pardon. And then Chemelil Sugar takes on Mount Kenya United, formerly Nakumatt FC. Remember, Mount Kenya United have not won any match so far in the Kenya Premier League. Now, in Nakuru, we have Posta Rangers taking on Mathare United. We'd like to hear from the coaches what they had to say before that match kicked off. Remember, that match was kicking off at 2 p.m. This is what Posta coach had to say.
Mesajili msimu huu ndio walinawiri sana nao wakakuja wakafunga. So hii inakuonyesha tu tunaenda kwa right direction.
Kila la heri coach.
Nashukuru sana.
Mwanzo ni muhimu, so tumejaribu sana tuone kama tunaweza jaribu kupatia nafasi vijana pia waweze kusherehekea na familia zao. So tunapiga tu sherehe zetu za Christmas bado tukiendelea kufanya kazi. Masaa kidogo ya kazi, masaa mengine pia ya familia. Niangalia hiyo mechi ilikuwa mechi nzuri, ni ngumu sababu pia ulinzi walikuwa na upinzani mgumu sana. Lakini kitu muhimu ni kwa vile tuweza kumiliki, at least najua tulimiliki ule mchezo kabisa. Na wakati unapata nafasi kama 2, 3 kwa level kama hii ni mzuri, vijana wanakuwa kidogo wamejiinua zaidi. Maana upati si kawaida kupata nafasi mingi sana, lakini ukipata 1, 2 ni mzuri kama unadhamaza mechi unaimalizia hapo. Na nafikiri mechi ya mwisho tulikosa nafasi mingi sana, kwanza wakati ule muhimu kabisa.
Pia defense yako coach umeifanyia kazi, tunazungumzia karibu dakika 180, mechi 3 hujafungwa bao.
Tutajaribu na nao pia leo wanaweza wakatoka hapa wakiwa hiyo rekodi bado wameshikilia. Kwa sababu mwanzo ya mambo mazuri ni kuhakikisha kila wakati unapiga clean sheet. Kama unaweza kuwa kila time kila mechi ukicheza au pigwi bao, ina maana wakati wote unaweza funga, wakati wote unaweza shinda, wakati wote unaweza toa alama 3 ama 1. So mwanzo wa matokeo mazuri ni kuhakikisha kila wakati hujafungwa bao.
Francis Kimanzi, the Mathare United coach, is speaking right there now. Mathare United are second on the Kenya Premier League log, having played 3 matches, won 2, drawn 1. They've not lost a match so far. They have 7 points on the log. And their opponents this afternoon, Posta Rangers, they are placed 13th on the log, having played 2 matches and lost. Rather, they've played 2 matches and drawn 1. They are on position 13th on the log. So the 2 teams will be locking horns this afternoon in Nakuru's Afra station. Of course, we are keeping an eye on that match that is currently going on. And we'll remember that match is live on KTN's Burudani TV. We'll be keeping an eye on that match and bringing you the results in our subsequent bulletins. But quickly going through the fixtures for this afternoon. Of course, before we get into the CAF Confederation Cup, we take a look at that match that is currently going on in Nakuru. Posta Rangers versus Mathare United at Nakuru's Afra Stadium. We'll be keeping an eye on that match and bringing you the results in our subsequent bulletins. But let's quickly go through the fixtures for this afternoon. Of course, Bandari taking on Western Stima. Sony Sugar taking on Zukerich. Of course, the match that we've just spoken about, Posta Rangers versus Mathare United. KCB FC takes on Tusker FC. FC Leopards battles Vihiga United. And of course, the other matches of the day, Kenya Premier League champions, Gor Mahia are in action. They're taking on Kariobangi Sharks. And we have Ulinzi taking on, Ulinzi, of course, taking on Sofapaka. But I would like us to cross over to the Kasarani Stadium right now, where we have Kelvin Kimathi, who is on standby. Remember, at Kasarani, we have the defending champions, that is Gor Mahia, taking on Kariobangi Sharks. These 2 sides faced off in the Super Cup, where Kariobangi Sharks defeated Gor Mahia. Kevin, what should we expect in this tie?
Well, Robinson, it's rather dull afternoon here at the Mo International Sports Center, as 50 minutes before kickoff time of the Kenya Premier League match between the Kenya Premier League record winners, that is Gor Mahia and Kariobangi Sharks, the Kasarani National Stadium is literally empty. There are no fans at the stadium, and normally any time that Gor Mahia plays in any stadium across the country at this time, the stands are always filled with large crowd, large numbers of fans singing, dancing, watching their teams warm up, ready to cheer on ahead of the match. But this time round, things are a little bit different. maybe you'd argue that it's because it's the festive season and some of the fans have traveled up country, or maybe you would say that they are a little bit late because that match will be kicking off at exactly 3 p.m. Both teams have already arrived here at the stadium, but they have not started warming up. They will be starting to warm up here behind me in the next few minutes. But for Gor Mahia, it's all about revenge. They are out here to revenge today, bearing in mind that they lost 1-0 to Kariobangi Sharks in the 2018-2019 Kenya Premier League season opener, that is the Super Cup, and they also got edged out of the FKF Shield Cup by Kariobangi Sharks back in October. So they will try as much as possible to make sure that at least today they get that important win and give the fans that would have arrived at the stadium something to smile about. But Kariobangi Sharks will not make it easy for them because, again, they have beaten them this season. That is at the opener, that is the Super Cup. And looking at the standings right now, Kariobangi Sharks is at the 5th position with 5 points, having played 3 matches. Gor Mahia is at the 12th position, having played only 2 matches with 3 points. So it's going to be a really tough tie for both teams, and we'll be here updating you on what's happening later on when the teams arrive here at the pitch to warm up.
Well, thanks a lot, Kelvin Kimathi, who is at the Kasarani Stadium following the proceedings. Of course, Gor Mahia, the Kenya Premier League champions, will be taking on Kariobangi Sharks at 3 p.m. Kenyan time. We'll be linking up later on with Kelvin to bring us more on what to expect from the Kenya Premier League champions as they take on Kariobangi Sharks. Now, Gor Mahia were in action in the CAF Champions League, where they did not manage to qualify into the group phase. So they dropped into the CAF Confederation Cup playoffs. We want to take a quick look at the draw that was done for the Champions League, that is the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederation Cup. Remember, the draw was done and they know who they will be playing now. Of course, we take a quick look at the fixtures that for the CAF Confederation Cup and the CAF Champions League, the group stage that was done. Now, we start with the CAF Champions League, and in Group A, we have Lobby Stars. Remember, this is the team that kicked out Gor Mahia after they settled for a 1-1 draw, rather for a 3-3 draw. Of course, Lobby getting that important away goal here in Nairobi at the Kasarani Stadium, and in doing so, they qualified for the group stage of the Champions League. Now, this is Group A, Lobby Stars. We have Casablanca, ASEC Mimosa, and Mamelodi Sundowns. We move on to Group B, where we have FC Platinum, Horoya AC, Esperance, and Orlando Pirates. Now, in Group C, we move on to Group C. Remember, there are 4 groups. In Group C, we have TP Mazembe, Club African, we have Constantine, and Ismaili SC. That is in Group C. Now, in Group D, that is where we have the only East African team, that is Simba SC, but it has been paired alongside Al Ahly, JS Saoura, and S Vita Club. Those are the 4 groups in the CAF Champions League draw that was done yesterday. Now, let's take a quick look at the CAF Confederation Cup playoff. Remember, Gor Mahia playing in the CAF Confederation Cup playoff. So we move on to the fixtures for the CAF Confederation Cup playoff. Now, Gor Mahia will be taking on New Stars the Douala. This is a side from Cameroon. Of course, if they win this, the first leg will be played on the 11th of January, with the second leg being played on the 18th of January. A win will see Gor Mahia into the group stage of the CAF Confederation Cup. Now, Al Ahly Benghazi from Libya will be taking on Hussein Dey from Algeria. El Hilal from Sudan takes on Mukura Victory from Rwanda. Now, Nkana FC from Zambia will be taking on FC San Pedro. Cotton Sport FC from Cameroon will be taking on Asante Kotoko from Ghana. Remember, Asante Kotoko knocked out Kenya's Kariobangi Sharks, so now it will be facing Cotton Sport FC. Those are some of the fixtures when you talk about the CAF Confederations Cup playoff. Those are some of the fixtures. Of course, we'll be keeping an eye on Kenya Premier League champions, that is Gor Mahia, on how they fare against the new Stars from Cameroon. Still, we run through some of the other fixtures in the Confederation Cup. We have Zesco United from Zambia taking on Kaizer Chiefs from South Africa. Stade Malien from Mali takes on Petros from Angola. Raja Casablanca from Morocco takes on African Stars from Namibia. Then we have RS Berkane from Morocco also taking on Giraffe from Senegal. Sfaxien from Tunisia takes on Vipers from Uganda, while Zamalek from Egypt takes on Tanga from Morocco. Those are the fixtures when you talk about the CAF Confederation Cup playoffs that will be played on the 11th of January. Gor Mahia in action. Of course, we'll be waiting to see how they perform after they were knocked, after they failed to qualify for the group stage of the CAF Champions League. We have to take a short commercial break, but when we come, the Serie A is still ongoing, and I know Kelly Boss here in studio is itching to talk about the racism that has been witnessed in the league, but that will be after the break.